Okay, guys, so welcome back to Into the Infinityverse, where I talk about certain elements of the Infinityverse, the shared fanfiction universe that my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 and I do together. And today I'm going to be talking about two elements that kind of coincide with one another. Jason and I once talked about this, and it was like, the more we thought about it, the more it it feels like it could coincide with each other. Like, these two elements really feel like they could play off each other if they exist in the same universe. And that is Killing Bites and BNA, which are both, animal-human hybrid animes. One you can find on Netflix. BNA you can watch on Netflix. Killing Bites you can find on Amazon. I think it's still on Amazon. But yeah, these two animes are very different, but they do kind of play with a lot of the same themes of animal-human hybrids, but it's a little different. Let's talk about Killing Bites first. So Killing Bites is kind of like a tournament that's run by by major companies in Japan, where they genetically alter humans and make them into human-animal hybrids to fight for them for power in political and business power in Japan. So yeah, there is that, and then in BNA, it's more like it's creatures who can, or really like beast men, people who have they're kind of like mutants. They're really like mutants, and Anima City is kind of like their Genosha. And that's kind of what we wanted to do. It's actually kind of funny because Jason one day said, "Hey, I'm watching BNA, and we're definitely going to put them in the Infinityverse." And I was like, "Okay, all right." Like, that just came out of the blue, and he did the Spotlight, which is in Anima City, and has Shiryu taking on predators. And yeah, that was really fun to read. I'm still trying to catch up on a lot of BNA. I'm trying to watch all the episodes. But yeah, so how does Killing Bites and BNA, how are they, represented in the Infinityverse? So they both exist on the main Earth. This isn't multiverse. So let's talk about the Killing Bites aspect first. So the Killing Bites aspect is kind of like its own continuity now. Like, it's kind of split off after season 2. I mean, there was no season 2 as far as I know. They keep saying it's in development, but it's on and off again. So it's after season 1, but it's a different take after what happened at the end of the show, where the main character Hitomi guts her friend Yuya on order of her boss. And at the end, Yuya is left bloody and near death. Now in Savages, which I wrote, Yuya comes back, and in the anime and manga, he reveals that he's become a Theranthrope, which is kind of, I mispronounced the name, but it's basically what they call the hybrids, where he's spliced with a crow. Here's the difference, though. Yuya in this continuity was not only saved, but he actually became the apprentice of Chase Young from Xiaolin Showdown. He became the apprentice of him, and with the whole reason of, I'm going to kill Hitomi. I am going to one day just burn every Zaibatsu. I'm going to burn Killing Bites to the ground and kill Hitomi on top of that of the piles of bodies I'm going to leave behind. Now, the other major aspect of what's different is that he's not a crow-human hybrid. He's actually been spliced with the DNA of the Indominus. So, as in the Indominus Rex from Jurassic World. And I did do a video talking about Jurassic Park in the Infinityverse, where in our Infinityverse, Fallen Kingdom never happened. So Isla Sorna, Isla Nublar are basically our Savage Land. It's the Savage Land, really. So, and it also would make sense, wouldn't it, that if you existed in a world where dinosaur DNA is available, you also make animal-human hybrids, you don't think someone would make a dinosaur-human hybrid? So that's what Chase did, was make a dinosaur-human hybrid with Yuya and the Indominus, and he's now Brute Indominus. So he's got that going for him. He's way more savage, way more aggressive, and he also has the training of Chase Young under his belt. He's currently with the Society of Supervillains, which is Black Hat's cabal of united villains. So there is that. Now, Hitomi herself was kind of like, oh shit, I felt bad for killing him, but now I feel like I've turned him into this horrendous monster. What the hell do I do now? So Atomi's going to be suffering for that later on, I assure you. So that's all really with that. And you may see some more dino-human hybrids in the Therinthopes at some point. Because, of course, like I said, do you honestly think that these companies would not, if they were making these kind of hybrids, they wouldn't try to one-up each other by using dinosaur DNA? Dinosaur DNA they could collect? Like, you don't think they wouldn't do that? Of course they would. So you may be seeing, like, Brute Velociraptor or Brute Pteranodon or something. There's also going to be another character who is going to become a Therinthrope at some point. I'm not going to say who, but he is from Randy Cunningham 9th Grade Ninja. So be on the lookout for that. So with that all said, let's move on to the BNA side. Now, like I said, BNA, Brand New Animal, is more or less like our Genosha. Beastmen are basically treated like the mutants of the Infinityverse, where they're kind of like, they're hiding, most of them are hiding and trying to either live in secret or live in Anima City, which is pretty corrupt. So there is a lot of talk of, hunting beastmen and stuff like that. And also, Anima City has rules regarding the Infinity League, which is basically you can't enter. The human characters cannot enter unless it's an emergency. Anima City's kind of like its own city-state, so it's kind of like its own little private nation in Japan. So they have to abide by those laws because beastmen don't trust humans, because with good reason. So there are basically the non-human characters can enter, and they are kind of leery towards the machine characters. But the byline is we're not human, so technically we can come in. But the ones who are allowed in are like the Ninja Turtles, the Mutanimals, the Road Rovers, the Street Sharks. Anyone like the hybrid characters or the mutant characters can enter because they are like them, so they can like openly enter the city. Also, going back to the Therinthopes real quick, yeah, someone did have a good hand in creating the Brute Indominus with Chase did reach out to somebody special to blend dinosaur and human DNA. Not gonna say who it was, but you guys probably have a good idea as to who that person might have been. And I kind of referenced it. To be fair, I did reference it in Dark Phoenix, in the Dark Phoenix storyline, when Yuya showed up before the Society of Supervillains. So, not going to say who it is, but you probably know who it is. Like, who's the only character you could think of that could make Dino Men already? Anyway, so yeah, there's also like these characters are, like I said, it's a city-state in Anima City, and the characters are the people, the beastmen of Anima City are, like I said, very leery towards the humans entering, especially metahuman characters. So they already have problems with humans. Imagine their fear and paranoia towards humans with superpowers. So they're kind of worried about that. But like I said, they do in case of a crisis, they can be let into the city. There's also the whole thing of non-human characters can come into the city in case of a problem. Anyway, so you're going to see a lot of them. You're going to see a lot of the Killing Bites and BNA characters in the Infinityverse. It's a lot of fun to write them, and like I said, you're going to be seeing characters who may become Beastmen or Therinthopes at some point. And also, regarding going back to the Dino thing, and yeah, those Zaibatsus who run the Killing Bites tournaments, you don't think they're not looking at at Anima City at like that meme with the guy like You don't think we're not going to address that, there would be people who would want to go to Anima City to collect these people? Yeah. So Shiryu Silverwolf, as we all know, is going to be having his hands full with dealing with these Zaibatsus and all these outside elements. He was already in his Spotlight story. He already had to deal with predators, who he actually in our continuity did encounter. He has encountered predators before, so he has encountered the Yautja members, and actually and that's going to tie into a later story. So be on the lookout for that. And and if you're wondering, Shiryu did old Silverwolf also did run into a certain character, because he is very old. You know, he was a samurai back in the day, so he did run into another canine-like character who had a very big... It was Inuyasha. He met Inuyasha. I got tired of pussyfooting around it, so yeah, he's met Inuyasha, and Jason wanted to write a team-up that centered around that. So I'm not in charge of that one, that's all him, so... Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of what we're doing with Killing Bites and BNA? Just comment below, let me know. And once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.